By accident, illness, or birth, there are many people who need assistance making themselves heard and also understood by the rest of us. Starting today here in Toronto, there is a conference about making life a bit easier for those who communicate differently. It's called Breaking the Ice. Nora Rothschild is one of the organizers. Hello, Nora.
Hello.
And Nola Millin is someone who uses a computer to help her communicate. She also has her attendant, Tony, here with us. Hello to you both.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to start first with you, Nora. Tell us about this conference.
Well, this conference started because there are a lot of people who actually speak very differently, and they use very different ways of speaking. Some use talking computers, devices. Some use alphabet boards, word boards, picture boards. Some use their words. They try to speak, but only familiar partners understand them. And so all of these people have this communication challenge that they have, and so we thought it would be really nice for them to come together. It's a time for them to share their stories, to make friends, to learn about tips. It's a time for family members to learn from the older augmentative communication users. Mm-hmm. And so the conference is really focused on those people that use communication differently, and the presenters mostly are people who speak differently. All right. Nola, do you want to?
Yeah, no. Now Nola's using her device now, right? Nola, how do you see the conference?
The Breaking the Ice conference is the only conference in Canada that is mainly for people who communicate differently, and they play a major role at it.
Now,
for instance, I am the co-chair. We must also thank March of Dimes Canada for hosting the conference, organizing attendance, and making it all possible. Takes time and people need patience.
Now, okay, we just heard Nola talking through her device. Nora, can you explain how that works?
So the device is essentially a computer that can talk. And with this device, what Nola is doing, although Nola is fully capable of writing, it takes a very long time to write letter by letter. Mm-hmm. So she actually has to memorize a number of words, all the words that she needs, and combine and recombine those words. So it's very much more efficient to think in terms of words rather than letter by letter alphabet. And so often when we're doing presentations, people will pre-program their devices just to make it faster, easier to listen to. Mm-hmm. So the keynote speaker tonight is Jennifer Lowe. She comes from Pittsburgh, and she's the executive director of an organization. She also starred in a movie called Only God Could Hear Me. And she talks, she can't move her hands or her fingers, so she actually, she doesn't use eye gaze, but she has a dot on her forehead, and when she moves her forehead, the computer recognizes where that dot is. So she's essentially touching each word with that dot. So it's almost like an eye gaze system.
You know, as one of the organizers, Nora, what does it mean for people to come to a conference like this? What have you seen and what have you noticed?
Oh, it's just wonderful and inspiring to see the people when they've met friends there. I just came from the conference. We're just getting set up, and there are two young girls. Well, they're now in their early 20s. They met several years ago, and they formed a deep friendship. A bond that, you know, every time they come together, they're never apart. So friendships is a big thing, and just not feeling isolated, seeing other people who are facing the same challenges and sharing their stories and their tips. And so we talk about traveling, we talk about making friends, we talk about transportation, we talk about housing. housing.
All the day-to-day practical things that you'd have to do.
That we take for
Yeah.
granted, but every single one of those things is a great challenge.
Well, Nola, you've been to quite a few Breaking the Ice conferences in the past. What have they meant to you?
The time,
So,
the time that you
Yes.
get to meet.
yeah. So now
So
Nola's trying
Nola-
to express.
Nola wants to make this faster, so she's actually using her voice. And so we probably won't understand what she's saying. So Nola, you keep talking, and Tony is her attendant, and she will try to translate.
You have? You've met your friends? At ICE? So Nola's met many friends at ICE?
Yes.
And Paul, who is a good friend that she's known for a long time.
You know, one of the things someone said to me is that when people speak differently, even though they're speaking, they're not being heard. How true do you find that, Nora?
Absolutely. People, will often come up when we're with Nola, for instance, and they'll talk to one of us instead of actually addressing Nola. And Nola has a degree. She has 3 degrees. She teaches an online course. She runs the website for the association. I mean, she's just so fully capable, and yet people don't look. They look at what they see, and they don't really understand that she's a fully functioning person. So it is frustrating, and they need to take the patience to. They need to want to hear it, and then they need to take the time that it takes.
Yeah. Do you, I don't know whether you feel, I mean, this conference is certainly a wonderful way for people to give each other support and, as you say, practical tips. But what about the public? We're not aware of these issues.
No, and that's why we're so happy to be here and to share this with the public, because I think a lot of people just don't even understand. And when they see people in wheelchairs and maybe with a device, they think, oh, poor thing. But they have wonderful lives. And I mean, Nola has a great sense of humor. She has a full life. She lives fully independently. I've gone to visit her. She has cats. She does need attendance to help you with your washrooming needs, with your eating, getting your food together. But certainly you tell them what food you want and everything. So, full lives. And people just don't often take the time to listen and to see beyond that and to really have expectations.
Well, best of luck to all of you. Thank you for coming in and telling us about this conference, Nora, Nolan, and Tony. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nora Rothschild, she is one of the organizers of the Breaking the Ice conference, which got underway earlier today here in Toronto. Nola Millin uses a computer to augment the way she communicates. Her assistant, Tony, was giving us a hand as well, and they will all be at this weekend's conference. It is 4:21, and Joan is here with traffic.
Well, we still have this ramp blocked on the northbound DVP from Danforth. We also have the right lane blocked on the northbound DVP at Danforth. This is because of a spill. This has been here since before noon. It's a really slow drive from Eastern up to the Danforth, then from Don Mills to York Mills, slowing again from the 407 to 16.